Ladies and gentlemen, moving straight on to the first bout of the evening, this is the kickboxing bout for number 3, 2 minutes. Your first fighter, stepping into the ring and fighting out the red corner, Conor Grant!
We are here in Leeds Prism for the first ever Combat Challenge Stand and Strike. Alex King and Rich Kenny in the commentary position. Our first fighter coming out tonight for a kickboxing bout is Conor Grant.
So we're going to have two debut fighters. Got two debut fighters today, both with no official record. Conor Grant taking on Stuart Arstall. As Alex has said, this is going to be a kickboxing match. It's hybrid kickboxing rules tonight. That means there's only kicks to the body, no legs, no head kicks. Points will be deducted for hits to the head and to the legs. You see at the moment the guys are both wearing shin pads when the second fella comes out. Both quite young guys.
And his opponent, stepping into the ring and fighting out of the blue corner, Stuart Arstall!
And his opponent in this kickboxing bout is Stuart Arstall. Rich, what do we know about him?
Stuart's been training for only about 3 or 4 months, so he's quite new to this. He's another young lad at 22 years of age. He's about 6'1", 73 kgs at the moment, so he's got quite a reasonable height advantage over Conor. With the rules for this fight, there's a 3 knockdown rule in effect, because this is the only kickboxing fight on the card. So basically they can get knocked down 3 times per round now, rather than just 3 times over the fight. There is a 5 total knockdown rule though, because both these guys are amateurs and relatively new to the sport as well. So look out for quite fast-paced action to start with. We were saying earlier, with the lack of head kicks and lack of leg kicks, we should see some quite thumping body shots from the kicks here. And the extra height that's possessed by Stuart should give him a sizable reach advantage both with the hands and with the feet.
It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Obviously 2 very new fighters, could be seeing the rise of some new stars here. Either way, it looks like we're in for an absolute treat.
Ladies and gentlemen, now for official introduction, the fighter fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 67.3. He's 18, stands at 5'6". He fights out of Brindley Martial Arts Academy and hails from Runcorn, Conor the Cat Grant! And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 72.9. He's 22, stands at 6'1". He fights out of Team Full and hails from Manchester, Stuart Arstall! The referee is the Black Conway.
So yeah, sizable reach advantage produced by Stuart there. You can see on the stare down now as I hear that Conor's giving away about 6 inches in height, so he's going to have a bit of a tough fight ahead of him here. But the real issue here is that with it being this hybrid rules of kickboxing and no leg kicks, the sort of size of his leg advantage from Conor is going to be pretty much negated, unfortunately, by the length of Stuart. But they're both new guys, so they're going to have to probably find out a way to get their balance fairly early on. So
here we go. Body kicks early there from Arstall.
Yeah, there's been no mention of sort of the option to clinch here, so I'd imagine there's no clinch at all, and Brad will be quite keen to break him up if anything starts early.
It's a very frenetic pace to kick us off tonight.
Yeah, they're both coming on quite keen to throw some shots, which is good. It's I think kind of just testing the range at the moment from Stuart, and it's going to cause Conor problems throughout the fight. I think he's I think he's quite keen to come forward, but he's going to have to be really careful to not sort of like blow himself out early, because he is reasonably inexperienced and he is fighting up quite a lot. He's going to have to be punching up at quite a height here, so he's going to need to be really careful not to kind of blow his wad straight at the start.
Arstall's not finding a home for those spinning attacks just yet.
No, I think he's doing the right thing here and just establishing length quite well, because he's so much taller than Conor, and like I said, without the ability to chop him down with leg kicks, the body kicks are probably just going to really struggle to find a home. Neither of them really working the jabs particularly well. You can tell that Stuart's very much a kicker. He's looking to constantly push off and create some space to throw those kicks to the body.
It would be nice to see him set those kicks up a little bit more with the hands.
Yeah, it would. I'd like to see him, put whether it's just a 1-2 combination, maybe come to the body and then come back up again. He's fighting a smaller guy, so although he has got a lot more range, there's not much body to hit out.
He's a smaller target, Rich.
Yeah, it is, and with him not really working the head with his hands a whole lot, Conor can afford to have his hands reasonably low. he's just struggling to really reach his head, if anything. Good overhand right there, just to kind of force the break, but it's a sizable range advantage, and Stuart now starting to take dominance in the centre.
Conor is pressuring forward very nicely. He's clipping him.
So we're coming to 10-second warning here. It's only 3 2-minute rounds, so it will be very fast-paced, this fight. Spinning kick there, very nice to the head though, but on the break under, that's fine.
Round 1 in the books.
Yeah, strong start from both, to be honest. Stuart is using his length really well, but like you said, I'd like to see him get his hands involved in this a bit more, because Conor's quite keen to try and throw some punches over the top.
Conor is a scrappy fighter, but he's willing and he's always pushing forward. He's putting a lot of pressure onto Arstall, and so far Arstall is doing very well. But we've been speaking about this prior to broadcast. It is quite a small ring, which needn't necessarily benefit the taller, rangier fighter who hasn't got the room to start spinning the sort of attacks up that he'd really like to. Yeah,
I think the ring looks to be sort of a 13 or 14 foot ring, so it is quite small. And as you said perfectly there, once a guy's got central dominance, there isn't actually that much room for the guy who wants to fight on the outside to do much. If you go forward, you will be able to move this guy backwards with perhaps a little less sort of cunning footwork than would be required for a bigger ring, or in fact a cage as well, where there's more room to move. But I'd imagine the advice that both guys get from their corners are try and find your range. You know, I'd like to think they were both told to maybe work the combinations a little bit more, because it was some reasonably big shots from Conor, but punching up, he needs to set it up to more. He'd be well placed for a couple of straight rights to the body, to be honest. If he could get his jab in up high and almost cut him down a little bit, get Stuart to drop his hands, because at the moment he's kind of just winging punches in. But you know, he's got a big challenge in front of him. It's a tough ask to fight a guy 7 inches taller when you can't hit them legs.
But Conor obviously he's trying to strike off the break as well, which is quite interesting. Which might be his best chance at finding the chin of Arstall.
Yeah, he's fighting southpaw at the moment against an orthodox, so you know, he should really be working his straight left. You know, Superman punch there, good. They hit a bit of a short right hand on the way in. Stuart playing limited clinch there as well. Might have a reasonable background in some sort of Thai boxing or modified K1, because he's actually got a fairly decent clinch, for causing Conor a few problems when they have got nice and close.
Pace starting to slow slightly, obviously midway through the second round here. But these are both young guys, obviously very fit. I'm sure they'll have no trouble making it way through the end if necessary.
I think Stuart's pacing is slightly better than Conor is. Conor's moving around the ring an awful lot. Stuart kind of just walking him down and putting in the kicks as and when he wants, really. You can see at the moment, like Conor, unless he's really coming forward with a lot of punches, he is struggling to really move Stuart at all. Stuart very much just walking down, but both guys doing well so far. You know, they've obviously both come to fight.
No doubt at all in that.
Good kick there from Stuart as well. He's hitting that body really well. I'd like to see him attack a little bit more off his lead left leg, like switch up that kick maybe, because he is constantly hitting that sort of roundhouse to the left side of Conor. And Conor's defending really well, not really seeming to be bothered by those kicks a whole lot.
He does seem to be dropping his elbow quite timely in most cases now.
Yeah, I think because he knows he's not really Stuart's not really headhunting with his hands, so Conor's kind of got a good chance to protect that body well. Whereas if Conor was to sort of get hit a bit more in the face, I think Stuart could find that kick really quite effective. So that's the end of the second round there. We've got 1 2-minute round left. Both guys in the corner, both standing up, so they look fairly fresh.
Corners are both then currently giving them the last bit of advice for the third and final round of this bout.
I'm not sure what else to say really about what the corners will be telling them right now. Probably Stuart's getting the advice of more of the same, try and establish your range, keep your dominance, and I'd like to think his coach was telling him to put his hands into the fight a bit more, but in all honesty, he looks like he's controlling the distance and therefore probably controlling this fight at the moment. Conor's come to fight and he's putting a lot of punches behind it, but I think he's just really struggling with a reach advantage. I think he's really struggling to find a home for any of his punches, and in all honesty his kicks seem a reasonable distance away every time he's throwing them. You know, Stuart has put a couple of teeps in, a couple of front kicks to keep some distance, and I think that's kind of been wrong-footing Conor a bit as well.
So we never like to second-guess the judges, but at the minute we would say probably Arstall is currently edging it.
I think so, yeah. I mean, it could very easily be 1 round each, but I just think Arstall's just looking a little bit more composed with his positioning. He's you know, he's kind of working from quite a solid base, and Conor has been forced to come forward quite fast, really.
But this is combat sports and anything can happen.
That's right, and you know, Conor's looking to land shots, but I just think that the balance of Stuart's proving to be a deciding factor here. That he's proving quite difficult to move backwards without 4, 5, 6 punches, and we saw this again with the kicks. Stuart quite comfortable to just constantly fire that lead kick. So switched stance there and threw in there. We've not seen a repeat of the spinning attacks from Stuart that started the start of the first round.
Yeah, he seems to have abandoned those, obviously not having the success he was looking for with
I think
those.
maybe just not enough room really with the way Conor's choosing to fight as well. Conor's quite keen to move forward, and in a ring with that limited space, there's not really the ability to create that level of distance to get the spinning kicks in at the range he'd like. But good body shot there from Conor. Nice right hand to the body. In the last sort of minute of the fight now, and I think Conor's going to have to do quite a lot to steal this. But at the same time, Stuart not committing to many shots, but picking them slightly better, I think.
Yeah, Stuart seems to be more willing to let Conor come to him.
Yeah,
whether that's a tactical thing, we will wait and see. But certainly both guys still bringing it very late into the fight. Neither seeming to be fading at all.
Yeah, there's been a slight slowdown of pace as you expect in any third round, really, in any fight. But both guys fighting hard. Good kick there from Stuart. Still attacking with reasonable success. That's like his first spinning kick of the second or third round. Both guys not really sure how they want to push this, really. Stuart content to land a few kicks to the body and let Conor sort of tie him up, really.
Oh, I think I would like to see Stuart later on now. He's getting to the end of the fight. I'd like to see him come forward with a final flurry and really try and put an exclamation point on the end of this bout.
Put some hands together, he's single kicking quite a lot. I'm not sure what Conor can do to counter that other than what he's trying, which is trying to come and land these shots over the top, but,
And it's in the bag. Very nice debut fight there to start us off for the evening. The crowd loving it. Everybody very appreciative there. A lot of show of hands for these two young fighters. And it's now in the hands of the judges, Rich.
I'd be interested to see what the end result is, but I would imagine Stuart's nicked that just based on the fact that his use of kicks was really well considered. It was kind of constantly effective aggression where I felt Conor was coming forward with a lot of punches and certainly a lot of heart, but I'm just unsure whether he landed enough good shots. There was a good right hand in that first round, but every time Stuart was kicking, there was good impact. You could hear it around the facility, kind of. You could hear those kicks, even as they weren't mainly hitting arms. Didn't seem to be bothering Conor a whole lot, but they score well. Good solid kicks with nice technique, landing them well. But in all honesty, I think that was Stuart's fight to win. If he put his hands together, he could have made a much easier decision for the judges, I think. But Carney's getting in the ring now to give us our decision.
Fighters in the centre of the ring, please. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 half-hour rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. We have a majority decision in favour of your winner. In the blue corner, Stuart